So, hello, Chef Mayank.
Hello.
Good morning. Um, how did the transition from being a professional chef to a culinary arts educator happened, and how did that change your perspective towards the culinary education?
In the beginning of my career, I worked for five-star properties, multiple restaurants. But while working with brands like Oberoi's and Marriott, they always, especially Oberoi's, they inculcate the feature of a departmental trainer. So I think from that edge, it was something that I developed inclination towards training and development, where we used to train the new staff which was being hired into the culinary department, and then as well as F&B, food and beverage, and I think that really helped me to understand that what's my cup of tea, and then that also involved some R&D, also helping the new children to understand what culinary knowledge they need to inculcate to become successful, and also allowed me to work on my research and development likewise.
So, what's the role of a chef apart from cooking?
I think, and that's what the difference between a cook and a chef is. A chef is a more of a holistic term. A chef is always a cook for sure.
Okay.
If you call me, I'm a cook because we cook food, right?
Yeah.
We are more involved with food. But when you develop the managerial aspect of it, economic aspect of it, when you understand the business dynamics around the food, that's what something that makes you a chef. And one also has to understand that what are the standard operating procedures, and you always work towards hygiene and then safe food, great food. All these parameters combined together will create become will allow you to become a chef ideally.
Okay. So we have seen a lot of trends happening in different fields.
Sure.
What's the latest trend into culinary arts and education that really fascinates you, or you think can be a game changer, or can be useful to the upcoming people?
For this, I think I'll pick up this point of the use of and the evolution of technology. If you look at it, has positives and disadvantages at the same time. In our Asian time, the chutneys or the masala used to be made by silbattas,
yeah.
or a hammam dasta, or a dantri. That used to slice the vegetables.
Yeah.
And that's more artisanal.
Yeah.
If you look at.
That gives you a better taste.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas they have been replaced now with the food processors,
Yes.
like
Grinders.
grinders and puree makers and multiple things,
Yeah.
which has taken off that
Essence of it.
originality and the the anthropological relation between food and the technique. Yes, the positive part is that it makes the process much more quicker.
Yeah.
Because in a hotel you have to be on your toes all the time, because there are multiple guests to cater to, and everyone has their own need and requests to make, and we have to be quite active towards it. So that's one part that I feel that technology is something which has allowed us to do more research and development, go towards the modernist approach towards the food. But at the same time, people have also forgotten the true essence of the the roots of the the tools behind that we use to make a simple chutney,
Yeah.
for that matter.
So they just know how to make it, but the why is missing. But
Exactly.
why are we using certain ingredients, or why are
Right.
we using a certain method is missing. So the education part of it is missing.
Yes, I think it's very important for us to understand a cooking process. But what's more important is to talk about the ingredient and the process. If you talk about roulade, now that's a skill to hone, and then you have to make a roulade. But there's a history behind it. There's a logic behind it. There's some science behind it. Social media, people go and make reels and put things out, and people try to copy. But nobody gets into the idea that who made roulade, from where did this concept
Yeah.
was made, and if you understand that, you can actually make your own version. You don't have to go to someone
Yeah.
and copy someone's idea. That can be a point of reference for sure. But if you know the in and out, the geographical impact and the historical impact, the sociological and anthropological reasoning behind it, then you are the king.
Because food is more than just the taste.
Exactly. It's
So sir, in your opinion, एक इंडिविजुअल को कौन सी एज से या एक बच्चे को कौन सी एज से culinary education मिलना चाहिए in the right amount? No matter if they want to be professional chef or not, but culinary education, because cooking is a life skill now.
right.
It's no more a passion
Right.
or a luxury. It is a
Right.
life skill, and everybody should know it.
Correct.
So कौन सी एज से एंड किस अमाउंट में उनको एटलीस्ट बेसिक्स पता होने चाहिए?
So I think here the school curriculum is something that we need to evaluate, and I'm happy, sitting today at Teen like Heritage School, girls' school. Here, the food science and the home science subject, they're quite strong about it. I can see the relation between the farm to fork concept is quite
Yeah.
live here, where the students go to the farm and then they pluck the vegetables and then they bring it to the kitchen and make something out of it. Talking about age, I think from class 8th is what I believe it's a decent time for this subject to roll in. Small pictures, small lessons can be made and can be delivered like that till 12th. I know 12th is more towards the interest part, but as you said, it's a life skill. It's something that anyone, whether engineer or a doctor, should know how to cook.
Yeah.
If we inculcate this curriculum from class 8, then people already will have some ideas, and nobody can actually fool them around that this is how a rabiata sauce is, or this is how a pomodoro is, or this is how a makhni is made, in a simple term. But if they know all these things, trust me, the mothers will be happy because they'll get some helping hands in the kitchen at home.
Yes.
Because mother is someone who has to cater to all the people
Yes.
in the family.
And I think they would also learn about the nutrition value. So even if they are living apart from the families or away from the families,
Right.
they would know what to eat, whether they're having a street food or whether they're sitting in a restaurant. It's not just a taste. They
Right.
can have the nutrition along with the taste.
Right. So just to add to your point, yesterday we did a small demonstration. So we talked about three basic concepts that the younger generation, the future leaders of India, have to focus on, which is sustainability. Definitely, we have to look at what resources we are using,
Absolutely.
how to make sure that we utilize them 100% and in the correct manner, where the cooking method and the technique will come into the picture, so that the nutrients are not lost
Yeah.
when you cook, because generally people lose the nutrients. They go for taste rather than the nutrients. And we also have to respect the domestic approach, respect local. So wherever your locality is, you need to see that what's growing in and around me, because the water you are drinking, the air that you are breathing, the soil is also getting the same water,
Yeah.
and it's in the same environment. So that kind of food is more suitable for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't have a asparagus sitting in a corner of Delhi. Why? Because that's not a food. For once in a while, it's okay for an experience.
Your body will not adjust to it.
Exactly. So, and that's where the Ayurveda, reflects
The science
all the
comes
learning.
into place.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all related.
So 2 questions. What makes a good dish? And what makes a good chef?
I think the soul behind it, the happy soul, is the crux for both the questions. To become a good chef, you should respect the ingredients, you should know the process, and you should show affection towards it. If you are in a angry mode, trust me, the food will be similar. If you are happy, you're relaxed, and you know what you're trying to achieve, trust me, your food will taste much more better as compared to when you are quite aggressive and maybe on an angry side. I think the balance in your soul, in your mindset, has to be there when you cook. When you sniff, you take a smell of a spice, you take the aroma or the oils,
Yeah.
then what is happening? Because at that stage, you know that I have to turn the gas off, because my जीरा अब भून चुका है. इससे ज्यादा होगा तो जल जाएगा.
जाएगा.
और अगर गुस्से में पका रहे हो, पक्का जीरा जलेगा.
I think, and it's also the same thing happens when you consume food. If you're not consuming food in a good mood, it will not affect or give the right nutrients to body. That's what my mother used to say.
I think it's quite valid, and बोलते हैं बुजुर्ग जो बोलते हैं बिल्कुल सही बोलते हैं. And that comes with a scientific background, is that the teeth are meant for chewing it. Again, our esophagus or the stomach don't have teeth.
Yes.
So our teeth are responsible to break things down, and then you have to chew slow. If you chew slow, if you chew well, your food will get digested much more faster, and you have a good metabolism, and hence your body weight will be in control. But if you just gulp down the food in a hurry, and that's what I think the sad part in the hospitality industry is, that the workers behind the counter, they have to eat food like that. They don't have that time to sit down and spend that time on the meal while they're cooking the entire day for someone, but they don't
Yes.
get the luxury.
That's the irony.
Yeah, you have to enjoy food, you have to relish, and that's what when being a educator in this field, that's what we teach the students, that whatever dish you make, it's very important for you to evaluate the dish through sensory part of it. So when you look at it, what is the expression that you're getting? If you hear some sound, like anything that you fry, when you drop it on a plate, it'll have a sound, it'll
Yes.
create a sound. So that will give you an impression that yes, my fries are done, yes, my pakoras are done, or anything that you've batter fried. The smell, the aroma for sure will allow you to evaluate the process. And then comes your palate. So as soon as your food enters your mouth, there are three things happening. The aroma definitely went through nose, but there's also a tract behind
Yes,
our throat. So
yes.
that connects to your, nostrils, which gives you indication in the brain. Scientifically, I'm talking about. And then there are taste buds on the palate. But the teeth, you assess through mouthfeel. Whether it's gooey, the center is gooey. Am I able to feel some crunch? It's just like eating a cornetto. Quality Walls cornetto cone. So on the top you have that chocolate and some nuts, frozen, and then inside it's all cream, and then the cone is also. So you enjoy the entire experience.
Yes.
If everything is completely soft, you'll be like, no, I'm done.
So the taste is the last part of it. It's first, as it is said, that you first eat your food to the smell of it.
Totally.
It's all in, the essence is in the smell.
Right. To give you an example here, if we go to a buffet, you generally look at the dishes,
Yes.
right? You don't go. It's just that you glance through the buffet, and then your hunger is at different level now.
Yes.
Because there's something very tempting, and then something like, no, I don't want to eat those
Yes.
greens. So I think the vision is something that really triggers your mindset
Absolutely.
at the same time.
So firstly, thank you, sir. Thank you for
Thank you.
being here. Thank you for giving us a lot of wisdom. And it was very nice talking to you. Thank
Great.
you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.